It may feel as if we have explored every inch of this big rock called Earth we live on, and so when strange things start happening, it can be super jarring. That's why today we're taking a look at some seriously weird places around the world that tourists are flocking to try and get a glimpse of. Let's get started. The Bermuda Triangle. This one is so widely regarded that it may have been the location that immediately came to mind. The Bermuda Triangle is as iconic as it is mysterious, with dozens of stories of weird and unexplainable stuff going on around it. Some people say that it has something to do with the magnetism of the area, which is why compasses and even watches have had issues when entering the spot. The tourists that come out unscathed mention how surprising it is that the beaches located in the triangle are beautiful and immaculate, making the most frustrating thing about the triangle being how much we would like to go there if it wasn't for all the weird and often dangerous stuff going on around there. The Banff Springs Hotel. If you are a horror fan, the Banff Springs Hotel may be a location to put on your bucket list of must-see locales. The Canadian hotel is not only secluded, located on top of the Rocky Mountains, but was the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. The place just screams haunted too, with stories of haunted rooms, moving furniture, and even a disappearing doorman that is said to wander the hotel, meaning there should be no shortage of fun. The Banff Springs Hotel is a must-see location, not just for its spooky nature, but also because of a beautiful and carefully designed mystique that feels like being transported back in time. Transylvania. Located in Romania, Bram Castle is the former home of the legendary Vlad the Impaler, who's considered to be one of the most terrifying historical figures of all time. He also was the inspiration for the famous Dracula character, spawning the entire vampire genre. The castle still exists today and is located in the middle of dreary and sprawling forests. Not only is the location full of history and pretty terrifying, but also located at the heart of Romania, and so you will get a pretty clear idea about the impact that the notorious ruler had on the region, and what it represents for a group of people that doesn't get a whole lot of visitors. Transylvania inspired a whole subgenre of horror, and has plenty of real-world horror that had happened there too to give you the creeps, if you don't believe in the supernatural. The Crooked Forest. The Crooked Forest is located in the eastmost part of Poland, and full of mystery and questions. As you can see by the pictures, the Crooked Forest lives up to its namesake, with some very strange pine trees located in a stretch of the large forest. We don't know how the trees came to be this way, whether it was some strange lumberjack work or snowstorms permanently forcing the tree to grow at a 90-degree angle. While we may never know why the Crooked Forest came to be this way, it won't stop tourists from venturing to this strange natural oddity. The forest also is one of the only areas on this list that has tons of mystery without the tragic background or fear of being haunted, which is, kind of a plus. Bangalore Fort. This abandoned fort in India has plenty of history around it, so much so that there are official laws in place to prevent people from getting into the place after dark. The fort is considered to be one of the most haunted spots in India, and it's all because of an old wizard who cursed the place after a plot to trick a princess to fall for him backfired, and he wound up dead. Ever since, the area has been deemed off limits to visit after dark. The officials have even reported literal deaths as a result from the curse all these years later. This is one location that I wouldn't want to be caught dead in after dark, and would be giving myself plenty of time to get out of there if my curiosity did get the best of me. The Tower of London. Sometimes it's easy to forget just how many of these European countries had been around, but there is plenty of history, especially in London, and not all of it is always good. That much is definitely true for the Tower of London, which has seen hundreds of years of experiences throughout huge British historical moments like the beheadings of kings and plenty of shadowy deeds. More recently, rumors of a deceased saint who died at the tower have surfaced, so if you were looking for a place where a ghost haunts a site in order to protect its grave, Tower of London is the place for you. There are tons of old locations with history in England, but only the Tower of London promises the sheer amount of activity as well as historical relevance in the area. Eternal Flame Falls. If you're looking for an unexplainable place located right here in the United States, then the Eternal Flame Falls located right in New York is the one for you. Combining two of the most elemental forces in the world, water and fire. This spot is a weird one to behold and a must-see if you find yourself on the East Coast for whatever reason. Because of natural gas seeping from the rock, the flame never goes out, and so you have a visible and obvious fire coming from a hole surrounded by water. It's a really wild sight to behold, and the overall location is just beautiful in its own right. The Eternal Flame Falls are as unique and mysterious as as they are gorgeous. The Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines are kind of like South American crop circles, except there's a little more to them than that. Located in Peru, the lines depict shapes like monkeys, spiders, and other animals, and are best viewed from up high in a plane or helicopter. The remains are probably the most impressive prehistoric artifact in all of South America, and a lot of the markings still remain a mystery as to why they exist in the first place. Some historians claim that the whole thing is supposed to be some kind of marking to the gods, while others believe that they could be symbols with some other kind of deeper meaning. There are even some that believe that aliens carved the signs into the ground as a way to communicate. So yeah, lots of theories about the whole thing. Stonehenge. Is Stonehenge even a mystery entry anymore? While we still don't know how the rocks got there or how they would have been transported to where the rocks would have been, had to have originated more than 200 miles away. Stonehenge has been sort of done to death with analysis to the point where I'm sure the mystery has even become boring to people if you believe that. People are still flocking to the spot in southern England where the rocks are located, as it represents the sense of wonder and magic that still exists in humanity, even if there isn't as much of it as there once was. Easter Island. While it was obviously not called Easter Island at the time, the location has become incredibly famous because of the statues that were found there. And along with Stonehenge, the Easter Island of Polynesia, as well as the statues themselves, are some of the most head-scratching discoveries ever made. There are over 880 statues in total, and each is supposed to represent a leader of the tribe located there. The logistics of the whole thing are hard to grasp, but the craftsmanship and design also make for quite the puzzling situation when analyzed by historians and those familiar with the time period. The island has become very popular for those that find themselves going to the area too, so don't expect to be alone if you're also drawn to the statues. Area 51. I thought about mentioning specific crop circles or locations where a high amount of extraterrestrial activity occurred, but to be quite honest, it felt more fitting just to put the queen of them all, Area 51, instead. The location is widely regarded as where the US government keeps all its dirty little secrets, including maybe the proof that aliens exist. Located quite literally in the middle of nowhere, a little outside of Las Vegas, the location has been beyond a holy destination to alien truthers, and the heavily armed military facility is always just slightly out of the reach of those looking for evidence to vindicate their alien hunting hobbies. While it seems very unlikely anyone ever finds what is really going on in there and lives to tell the tale, I'm sure that there are many people out there eager for an opportunity to one day explore the well-known government building. And that's all for our video today. Are there any more mysterious locations that have become popular among tourists? Leave a comment down below and let us know. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, as both help out our channel a bunch. And subscribing means you'll never miss a video that we upload. That's about all from me, guys. See ya!